So this is our final goal of the architectural space we would like to model. We have, for example, the exterior walls. We have an individual roof that's also hollow. And we have our interior walls, the baseboard, and then all the window elements with actually more details modeled in, and then the foundation. I will also talk about how we can add more dimensions. As you can see those right now. The dimensions will be very useful. Well, we could take notes by hand if we want, or we can put actually the dimensions right into the model. And when we don't need to see them, we just hide the group. But it's actually really nice to have them inside the model because, well, we can turn them on and off and always quickly see where something is. And also we will take a look at how, for example, section views work. So for example, here, this section view, or this section view, or there. So we slice actually the architectural space, and then, well, we can do a section view. Okay, very good. So download the reference images, and the link to everything is inside the description of the video. I will keep this this file also open. So when I switch between the new model and this model, I can switch forward and backwards. On the Mac can have two files open. On the Windows side, if you want, you can't do this, but then you can use the screenshots with the dimensions for it. Okay, very good. So here we are in a new file. First thing, architecture. That's the dimension we want to use. The system, parallel projection, then top view, and we're going to import our plan view. And there we are. Click it somewhere, click, okay, good. So here is actually a very important aspect, first thing to know. There's a window, there's a window, there's a window. Okay, cool. And we can read the text. But this image is actually not oriented correctly along the north, south, east, west orientation. Dining room, here this window is facing west, and this is facing north. By the way, Y is north and X is east. So that means this image needs to be rotated. There. Now this is correct. We want to scale it. Here's a little trick. So when when we click and then type in a value, it tells us, hey, do you want to resize the whole model? And now we don't. How can we do this differently? We explode this image, and then we group this image. Why did we explode it the first time? You will see when you bring in an image for the first time and you double click it, you can't actually go into an edit mode. But after you explode it and then grouped it, you can. Now I can go ahead and say from here to here, 29 feet, 6 inches. And then look at this. It asks, hey, do you want to resize this group? Yep. You bet I want. Okay, let's get out of the group. We want to position now this corner right to there. Why? What's the reason behind it? Well, it's not required, but it makes things a lot easier. This is an interior corner. And why not line this up with the 0 point of my design? To help myself, however, not being kind of like confused by my image, I moved it down a little bit. Because when I go into a plan view, since we are in parallel projection, everything perfectly lines up. Super. Okay, now let's bring in our elevation view. And there it is. Zip. Tuck, tuck. Same thing here. Now, double, triple, whatever. Clicking doesn't work, but explode, group, double click. That works. here. This is actually pretty good. So 10 feet. Enter. Yes. Thank you. Now let's get out of this group, and then this corner here I will bring down to there. Okay, so now you see I did the same seen as an elevation view. This left wall, oh look how bent this thing is, I lined up with the y-axis, and then here's another thing to consider. You see that the x-axis or the ground is set up being the ground of the space I want to model. Well, technically speaking, this house is not at sea level. It's a little bit higher. If we want to be correct, we would need to figure out the correct sea level height and then move basically this point vertically up as needed. But for modeling, this makes it very easy because the ground is really the ground in our image. Then I will move this one further out. So when I rotate around, I don't have this image in front of my nose or distracting me. Very good. Then a little bit of house cleaning. I will call this arc plan view, arc for architecture. And then this we will call arc elevation view. And the groups will be sorted by their letters. So when we do various dimension groups, I would start them all being called dim. Okay, very good. So first thing to do, let's draw actually the plan view. So there we are. This is 16 feet and 28 feet. So from the 0 point going up, 16 feet, click, going over 28 feet, click, going down, click, click. There we are. Okay. Now that was pretty easy. Now we want, however, to expand this correctly. You saw I drew the inside of my room. Now I would like to draw actually the outside. So how can I do this? The easiest step is I will select this edge and then I move this over. Kind of like 5 inches. So was this really actually 5 inches? Let's do this one more time. 5 inches. Yeah, it was. Okay, good. Let's go to here, select this edge. This we move down 5 inches. Very good. Then we can go to here, select this edge, move this over 5 inches. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Here now, how do we do this? Here we need to actually bring this up 5 inches too. Very good. Okay. Now I can actually select the offset, click and drag, type in 5 and enter. Select the inside, delete. There. Now I actually created my my interior walls, as you see. When I draw a rectangle, I wanted to check something. Oh, we could also have done this way. Wah, wah. Okay. It's never bad to know more than one way. So you saw you can just draw a rectangle and then we do an offset to the outside. Works too. Very good. Okay, so this actually goes 1 foot in. And this is also here indicating this is the midpoint. So now I figure out when this is my outer line, you see how there it snaps. So this is where the point really is. So from here, go up 1 foot. Then I go over to here, go down and click. Very nice. Delete and delete. And now from here, 5 inches over, I will do this via the tape measurement, putting down construction lines. So I click and drag and then drag these out, and then where this intersects, there is now my new piece. Beautiful. Remove all the stuff I don't need anymore. There we are. Okay. Very good. Now, this point actually is correct. Now I would like to make sure how wide is this. So let's add in actually a dimension. So this dimension is there under Tools, Dimensions. Pretty cool. So this reads out 7 feet, 10 inches, and 3.5. Okay, so let's go to this image. This will actually give us an idea of how wide this is. So it's actually 14, a quarter and a quarter, and then the distance there in between. I just realized, hey, I have this one. There it is. So this should actually be 8 feet. Okay, so 14, 8, and 6 feet. But now this is actually not really 8 feet. And when we plug one more down here, there it tells us how much we have here. Now, let me show you something quite useful. And this only works with the dimensions because we're still kind of like in edit mode. We didn't group it yet. I selected the 2 edges. Oh, what's going on? You see, when I'm moving it, the dimensions are updating. Pretty cool, huh? So now I have like 7 feet and 11 3/4 of an inch. So it means 1/4 is left. So I can click, move this over, period, 0.25, enter, there, 8 feet. So I just basically moved it by the missing amount. Okay. These we can remove. We don't need them for the moment. Very nice. Okay. This whole thing now, really important because this group is kind of done. I will actually move up, and we can here see this should be 10 feet. So go up 10 feet. Beautiful. Very nice. Where are the openings? So here's an opening, 2 feet, 6 inches. And this is actually centered to a 6 foot and 11 inch part. So how can we actually do this? Let me show you how we will figure that out. So we will use the ruler, or no, the tape measurement, but kind of like we're creating a ruler or a guideline. So 6 feet and 11 inches. There we are. Cool. Okay. Now I will, from here along the x-axis, draw a line. There. Okay. So this line has somewhere a midpoint. There's the midpoint. You see now? No, actually, I have exactly the midpoint of my door. So 2 feet 6 inches, 1 foot 3 inches. So I'm bringing this over from there. So we said 1 foot 3 inches and 1 foot 3 inches. Very nice. Now I can draw myself 2 lines where everything intersects, and then the rest I delete. And when you add actually these guidelines with the tape measurement tool, be aware of, like, based on what view, more horizontal, more vertical, the orientation might be different. And now we can actually push this one up. For the moment, I just type in 80 inches. Okay, how do we do now this opening here? So I have this measured out, and it's actually inside the dimension, door, and passage. So it is actually 10 feet and 3 inches away. So now we can actually measure from here to here 6 feet 6 inches. So let's do that. So from there, 6 feet 6 inches, and then 10 feet and 3 inches. 10 feet 3 inches. Very good. Okay. And 10 feet 3 inches, you see, is actually written inside the dimension here. Also, I figured out where you see how this overlaps. So this was basically this distance plus 5 plus this distance. This is where then this would be. Okay, zack, and zack. And we set here 6 feet 8 inches high. Okay, so 6 feet 8 inches. Can we make these two the same? We can bring this one down and then snap it. And there we are. Let's delete all the guidelines. And yo, that's actually pretty good. Okay, so we can now continue modeling actually the openings. Let's start with this wall. So that is this one. There we are. So we have a 9 foot by 6 foot opening, which is 3 feet and 6 inches. One easy way is just, again, use guidelines. They're super useful. 3 feet 6 inches, and then the same from here, 3 feet 6 inches, 11.5 inches, and for example 6 foot goes straight up. There we are. Cool. Then I can draw there a rectangle, and if my inner and outer wall are perfectly parallel and I extrude, you see how it now says on face, click, then there, it's gone. And then these lines I can remove. Beautiful. Okay, I would like to show you something also here when we do something like this. Now we can add actually dimensions. And then when I select this and move this, you see how it all updates. This is again super useful. The only downside is later when we group all this stuff, so make a group. Okay, now this is individual. So hold on, when I go ahead and do this, oh, I just learned something new. It actually it updates. Well, what happens when we group these? Because we want them to be able to be seen and not. Okay. Let's see. There, you see, when we group those, then they actually are not connected to that anymore. Good. Okay. So maybe actually, so if we want to have these dimensions all the time still in there, how could we do this? This is maybe where the tags could be quite useful. So, oops, wrong tool. So you see here, I'm adding actually this dimension back in. There we are. And maybe also for easy, how wide and how tall is this one? There we are. And now let's go to the tags there. Maybe this one we call them Reminds me actually of dim sum. I really love dim sum. It's delicious. So these, when we now go to the entity info, we put onto dim. Yeah. See, then this way we can actually show and hide them. That's pretty cool. So let's do a proof of concept. Yep, perfect. And ladies and gentlemen, you just witnessed I made another learning step because I never really stacked actually dimensions and the modeling, the outliner and the tag system that way. Okay. No shame admitting everybody learned something at one point. Very good. So, but let's bring this to there, using up too much space. This is basically done now. Now we can actually work on that part. So let's go to the correct image and this one. It's also 11 inches and a half up and 1/4. Okay, so that's easy. So there we are. Now, because this is grouped, I have to go into edit mode. No, double click. Go up. 11.5. And was it 0.25? 0.25. Wait, how is it going? 0.25. Okay, hold on. 1/4 of an inch. Okay. 1 inch. Oh, there must be something royally wrong actually with the dimension here. Okay. We'll figure this out differently. It's actually good. Maybe it's a good exercise to do this. So 7 feet 11 inches. Zip. 7 feet 11 inches. Okay, and then we have 7. Yeah, that's really interesting. 7 feet and 3.5 inches. Okay, so I will figure out where's my midpoint. There we are. So 7 multiplied by 12 is 84. So that's actually 84 plus 3.5 is 87 point. That 87.5 divided by 2. So 43.75. 43.75 inches. There. 43.75 inches. Okay. Yeah, this looks correct. So I'm not sure. Oh, maybe that was 1/4 of a foot. Let's see. What? Oh, maybe the 4 got squeezed off. Okay, now that makes sense now. Okay. There we are. Think about this as an exercise. Maybe somebody took dimensions for you and they didn't really do this well. And why are you actually not going perfectly through? Ah, okay, very good. So you also here, you saw that I had 4 times the issue to push and pull really through. At one point, then I went to this edge, which basically told the software, hey, I just want to cut through. Okay. SketchUp very often is able to know this, what I want. Sometimes it has hiccups. So that is well done. Very good. Now let's go to there, the last window to cut. And we have the information here. Also 11 0.25 from the bottom. Oh, thank you. I can work with each. So 11.5 inches. Very nice. 1 second. What's this actually? Yeah. Yep. So then we set that whole thing is 7 feet 10 inches. And we have it. Oh, I hate it. 3/16. So, sorry, I'm a metric person. So 12 plus 6 is, well, 18, no? We know that. But 3/16, what is that now in inches? Okay, so zip, copy. So 18 point, geez. Let's say as a fraction, is that correct? Oh, whatever. Okay. Oh, that stinks. SketchUp does not like us to copy that over. So let's say it's actually, we make this simpler. So 18 inches, 0.25. Very good. Okay. And then we bring this over 2 feet, 5 inches. I could actually maybe have simply switched in those cases where not familiar actually with the architectural dimension systems and want something easier. We could just have switched to the decimal system. That actually would have been much easier. But this is kind of like the standard how dimensions are made. And there, and there. That's why actually working with metric, no matter if industrial design, interior design, architecture is so much easier. Just one system. Okay, very good. So we want here, we said 18.25. Very good. And then 2 feet 5 inches. Very good. Let me see how I'm snapping these guidelines back. There we are. And then and click and drag and then clean up all this junk. Okay, very good. Now, let's say at one point we have this inaccuracy, we need to fix it. Now, I showed how we can apply a dimension, and then when we move actually faces, it will update it. So we could match it back. But we'll leave it like this. Very good. So I would say actually the interior, let's say interior elevation, elevation is done. So let's quickly do the exterior. The interior wall is 5 inches, kind of like that's how what we say. And then we have 4 inches for the outside. The exterior or the wall of an exterior side is 9 inches complete. So I will turn off this so it's easier to see what I'm doing. So I will start here, 4 inches. Very good. Then I will go this way and click. This piece is extending, so from here, 4 inches and then back. And then click and click and clean up. You saw that? How I did that? Okay. And then this, for the moment, we just go till there. And oh, what do we do here? Well, this is easy, no? We just simply retrace. Thank you, we can peek through these windows. We can just retrace, and then we cut it out. Easy. So architecture modeling is, when you know all the dimensions, it's actually pretty easy. And you also want to work, not necessarily, how could I say that? Smart. Not necessarily crazy hard. There we are. And then from here, 4 inches and back. And then there you see I do this overlap, remove this. Now push and pull to kind of like there. You know, saw actually how I needed to rotate my view for better snapping. And there we are. Beautiful. Okay, so here we will do a drawing from there till this corner. Very good. And then zip. Nope. There. And actually this piece goes through there. Can we? And it does not actually, you see, completely take this out. Okay, so what can we do here? Well, these two lines here I will select and delete, and yeah, there we are. So this, how could I say that? This upper area is just, it's a wood siding, and this is actually a brick siding. We can keep these two elements separated, or honestly, we can just dump them both into the same group. There. And then we can call this wall exterior. And then this is wall interior. Very nice. Let's quickly put down also something for the foundation. I will go by retracing the outer perimeter, I mean, and 10 inches. It's not 100% correct, but it's very close to the joist and then the subfloor, etc. And let's call this floor. Beautiful. Okay, so that part is done. Now the next question is, how do we do the roof? The roof is actually not really complicated. And this is a really nice exercise also to show how knowing drafting principles, how to draw precise lines in 2D and then 3D is very useful. So first we need to figure out the pitch. We can see the pitch is 4 inches up, 12 inches to the side. Okay, so what's this pitch for? Okay, take a look at this. So here I draw a line, 12 inches, and then along the z-axis, 4 inches. And then here I draw a line. It's a nice daredevil ramp. And here again, 12 along one axis and 4 along z, and I connect this. Now here, you see how I'm just drawing a line, and I'm moving my pen up and down till it extends this line. It's kind of like I'm doing AutoCAD in 2D. Clock. And then when I connect this as a test, it fills perfect. So that means this is good. Yeah, I will remove this and I will move this. So let's see. Yeah, this is all actually good. Very nice. Also, this point here, this is like right where this dashed line is. And then this line will line up also with there. So let's see if this is actually so far modeled correctly. And do they intersect? They do not. Oh, so they're somewhere a little offset. So let's take a look where maybe I am actually off. Very good. I would like to hide the floor. Oh, yeah. What's going on here? So somewhere I must have, when I entered actually my values, I must have made a little mistake. Okay, so one more time. So from here, going over 12 and then up along the z-axis 4, and then I draw here myself a line and I will extend this. Very good. Here again, over 12 and 4 up. Connect this and then do this. Let's see. Ah, okay. You see, this is actually, yeah, correct. So no idea what I did there before. I on purpose leave this inside the video just so you see that these hiccups also happen when I model. I notice when you type in values that sometimes SketchUp ignores them. Maybe it's because you move the mouse or something. Can be really irritating. Okay, good. So we have now the inner line. That is good. Beautiful. How do we now do the offset? And then how do we line this up also here with this wall? Yeah, how do we do this? Okay, good. So we need to line this up with the interior wall. Okay, let's go to the front view, go to offset. And when well, we could do it this way if we want. Here, click and whoop, up, come on. Click and drag to the outside, and then 5 inches and enter. There we are. Now we have this whole piece. And you see now where this intersects. Beautiful. We simply draw this up, and then we draw this one over. And I do the same here. I'm going to hide this so you see actually what I created, and then all this zip, zip. I'm just removing these parts here right now, also on the inside. There. Very good. Okay. Very nice. Yeah, so I will actually do the following. I will select these 2 inner lines, go to move and copy them to there. And when I connect this to here, and then this line to there, you see, zuck, there it's filled in. You see, it's putting in already the faces. There, very good. Now this face here that's actually filled, that is not correct. Also, this line here I can delete. And this line I can delete because what we have here, this has to sit actually here. Okay. Very good. So why did I do this? Well, we can redraw this line. This part is filled. We can draw this line. Then this part is filled. Okay. And here, this goes over. Then this here we, yeah, for the moment, for example, we can fill this. You see how this would be capped. I will undo this step. We fill this actually later differently. Okay, so beautiful. Now, how do I bring the rest over? You see here, I will go ahead, double click this, and then do copy and say make a copy from there to there. Okay, yeah, that starts to look actually pretty good. Quickly, we can punch in some lines here. There we have that side. By the way, there's the roof. You see how easy that is. It's just very simple geometrical thinking. There. No, this looks tricky. No, it's not. Super easy. How do we extend the roof so it fits over this part? I will continue drawing here this outline. Very good. Then I will draw this line up. And when I draw this line up, somewhere I want to know where is the height point here. Well, I can use the tape ruler, bring this one up. Yep, but that's not what I wanted. Here. There. You see? So, one more time. I draw up this line along the z-axis. I press the up arrow key, so I only can go up and down. And then when I move it to this line, it snaps actually to this part. Very good. Because this tells me now, okay, from there to there, to there. There it is. You see? And then good night and good night. Here I will do it one time differently. I will go up there, go over, find this point. There we are. There we are. Okay. How do I do this now with here? See how I'm drawing actually a small rectangle? There. Zack. And clean up. There we are. Easy. Okay. Boop. Look at that. There, I think we no, yeah, not really are. So this interface here, no, that goes away. And also here, bad, naughty, and the rest is actually good. So how do we clean this now? Let's see, when we do lines, there, now SketchUp understands. Okay. Class wants to fill this. Yes, I do. Thank you. Technically speaking, there is a hollow element inside this part, but we don't see it, so we don't adjust it. We can select all the blue faces. No, not we can. We have to right-click and then say reverse. We can do a little bit more cleanup. So, for example, these lines are gone. The rest is actually perfect. Let's see how this sits on that. Yeah, it sits perfectly. Very good. So why did I decide for the roof, which I quickly group? Only kind of like have this, it's actually not the roof, that's the ceiling. Why did I decide to make part of this wall actually part of the ceiling? Well, because then this way it's very easy to turn this off and we have a flat cut. It's very nice then if we, let's say we need to do a plan view in and we turn actually perspective on. We don't have any crazy triangles towards us. This is a nice rectangular shape, not very distracting, and we can focus onto the interior space. So it's more actually a visual reason, and because we are used to that our ceilings are flat and not angled. Okay, very good. So we have the architecture modeled. Now it's time to work on the windows. So before we get started with the windows, let's actually go to the folder Window and Baseboard. There we have section views and dimensions. The most difficult one is the baseboard. So we can see 2 dimensions, very hard. The window and casing baseboard and the window divider, these are going to be very interesting because what we can see here is a section through the whole window system. On the window, stopper, casing, or trim, based on how you want to call this. And you can see that this casing, think about it like the frame that includes all the window elements that's being inserted into the wall, sits over the interior and an inch over the exterior wall. Here is a horizontal cut through a divider. Again, the window and the stopper, and this actually goes bottom to top, and then here's the next window again. You can see this very easily here. Divider, 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 and even horizontally. All these windows do actually have the same width, just only here, this is a tick wider. And to one more folder. So window detail insight. Also here are some references how, for example, this piece looks. We're going to remodel, but we will simplify everything. So for example, all these rounded edges we will skip. We will rebuild this via simple cubical geometry. The pure complexity, not complexity, the pure quantity of these elements already will make our windows look more believable. And what is here, for example, again visible is the outer trim or casing, the inner everything sits on, then here's the stopper, and there's the window, there's the casing continuing, and then there's the outside wall. And take a look at this here. Even there you can see how the brick wall goes to the top, and then this bigger frame around, that's actually the casing, and the sill is kind of angled. We will make this horizontal. There's the divider. Okay, now look from the side, even closer. There you can see the sill and the casing going over. Again, this is 3 inches. If you never really paid attention to these details, really do. For example, here we can see that everything is nearly flush with the outside wood siding. And knowing actually how things are constructed, not to the tiniest detail, but having a somewhat proportional, correct understanding really helps when we have to model something that doesn't look blatantly wrong and is actually, because of the somewhat semi-realism precision we put in, very believable. Okay, with all that talk, let's go back to here and we will actually start with the window casing. Okay, very good. So I will go to SketchUp. The ceiling I will hide and we will work on the west window. So I will draw a rectangle there and there, and then 1 inch material thickness, delete the inside, and then, oh, that's 6 inches, yeah, to the outside. So we have a 3-inch distance till really the end. Triple click and make this a group. Really important. Very good. So it doesn't fuse to anything. So this part now we have done. Very good. Then let's take a look at the divider. That is a 2 1/4 by 5 1/4 piece. And then we have quarter corners. That makes it very easy to memorize. Okay, so somewhere I will start drawing 2.25 and 5.25. And then I go back and there. Okay, I do not have these corner elements there, so I will do this actually now. So from here, 0.25 and 0.25 and 0.25. Sweet. And then I can just draw all this. I will hide all these elements so I can very easily select all the stuff and delete it. There we are. Beautiful. Okay, let's go to the outside view. Select this, then we will push this one up to there. Okay, you see here this hangs over. This is actually normal because this is interior wall, and there would now be actually an exterior siding now, the wood material. We don't really see this from here, so we will skip this. Otherwise, we will put this in. A general suggestion, stuff you don't see, you will never present, don't put the work in. Make a group. Well, why not put the work in? Well, you want to be paid for the work you do. Okay, so we said there is a 27-inch distance. Now, how do we figure this out now? Easy. So from here, we bring this over along the y-axis till it snaps. Very good, thank you. And then 27 inches. There we are. Let's bring a copy along the y-axis to there. And then this copy, 27. Whoa, what's going on here? Hold on. So there, 27. Very good. No, actually, these two dividers are perfectly positioned. Nice. Also, now they are group on its own. Very good. Okay. Then the next piece. Let's go back here to this image. So this rectangle is done. And now we have a rectangle that is actually 2 inches high and then 1.5 inch deep. Okay, good. So, and 3 inches in. So now where do we do this actually? I will go maybe to here. Let's see. Can we do a rectangle? Yeah, there. You see I'm trying to find on this edge the correct position. So this is now a flat rectangle. Very good. So we said this is 2 inches. 2 there. Delete. And then this goes by 1.5 inches, if I recall this correctly. 1.5. Yes, very good. So that is my window element. Then I double click, group, and now I bring this to the front. There we are. And now this has to go back 3 inches. There, very good. Now there is actually a small stopper in front. Also, some windows, they have actually, there's a mechanism inside so you could rotate and open the window. We will just simplify this simply via a box, 1 inch by 2 inches. Here, this is going to be pretty easy. 2, 1 over and down. And there. What you do, triple double click and make group. The floor is really going to be in our way, and actually also the wall. Let's hide the walls. Very good. Then this, yeah, we make a copy. So this upper corner along the z-axis straight up to there. Thank you. Then we have another small element. We see this actually on the divider here. So this is 1/2 and 1.5. So it's a little bit smaller. Okay, now easy. So 1.5 and 0.5 back and there. Zip you to there. Triple click, right click, make group, make a copy. This corner, make a copy along. Now, which key is it? My left arrow key to there. Left arrow key locked it to the y-axis. Pretty cool, no? So look actually at this. Now we can select all these elements. Here, I'll hide even this so you see what we're doing. Make a copy from this corner over along the y-axis to there. Suck. Beautiful. And we will do the same. Copy from this corner along the y-axis to there. Yeah. And let's scale this. And no, we do not scale this. Look what happens. It is terrible. So what we do now, double click. We will select the inner face and the outer face. And then we simply move it from here along the y-axis onto the face there. That's how you do it. Here, this is just one face, easy, push and pull, sock, there. Then this one, copy this corner over to there. And this one here, copy this corner up along the Z-axis, so upper key, snap, and there we are. Super easy. Yeah, okay. When you model windows and they have, or something like this, and you have different widths, it's really useful to know which of the lines do you have to select so you could move them to essentially scale it. Okay, so all this is done. Let's create the casing or the trim that goes around it. I will find where is the midpoint. There it is. So over 2.5 and then 0.5 and 0.5 and escape. And then here we go 0.25, 0.5, and then we connect. We, as you can see, do a very simplistic version. We can always add more later when we have time, but if we don't, then we want to get paid again. I mean, it sounds kind of funny with me saying like we want to get paid, but it's truly an economical question too. Plus, also as a student, when we design something, we are exploring ideas, and this is a process, slow steps, and refinement after refinement, we come to the final solution. We just don't jump right into this is what I want, because then we are not really exploring design variations. So we want to model in a way that is enabling us to work fast at the beginning and then later slow in detailing. Make group. There we are. Ta-da! The window number 1 is done. Okay, see. No, that wasn't actually too complicated. And to make things easy, we make a group. And then this group, for example, we can call, this is now West window. All these other groups elements in here I could name, but I purposely will never really go in there. So turning this on and off and knowing that this is my West window That's good enough. Again, the naming and how I use the outliner, this is all a matter of personal preference. And if you later work for a client and you share documents, they might have a standardized way how to even do the naming. So you might have to adapt. So let's do the next window, and we actually will work on this one. So this whole thing I have here, I'll make a copy, bring over. Very nice. And then let's rotate it. There we are. Very good. And I will explode this piece. So certain details are faster to simply remodel. So for example, the inner casing. There. Now triple click and make group. Very good. Here, let's show you again how we could actually position this. This might be a good exercise still to see how to do this by hand. Very good. Okay, so this face and probably this edge and this edge. Then this edge, nope, not this face, this edge and this edge. I'm selecting all the faces that I want to move up and down. Not this face, this edge. Very good. Let's see if I move this one up. Yep, everything moves correctly. Go up to there. Thank you. And then here you. The z-axis. There. Okay. Beautiful. What you do not want to do is select maybe this face. Yeah, looks good. And then let's move it and yeah, well, this stuff happens. Fun stuff. So we don't need to select all faces. So for example, here, I think the faces which I'm selecting here right now, so this is left and right and the inside, that is truly all I need. Yeah. I am correct. Click, click, there. Okay. Now I could also have redrawn that profile and then just did another sweep or follow me. But sometimes it's good to know how you can do things differently or in variations. So all this, zip, that goes, this goes, and if everything will be correct there. Yeah. How far is this actually away? So good. See, I know I needed to figure out, okay, where do I position this? You go to here. Very nice. Okay, you see actually widthwise, it's perfect. That fits correctly. And I need to go back here to this image because I need to see what's the distance. Oh, 1 inch or 1.5 inches. Okay, good. That's all what I needed to know. So it means from here to there and then 1 inch back. Let's verify. This should be 1.5 inches. It is. Beautiful. Okay, this one here, we will rotate because the geometry we have, just not really the width. There. Very good. And also here, now this is 27 and 27. So we might need to adjust few elements there. Oh, this is in my way. So let's hide this. And then you 27 down. Very good. So, and where this actually meets, I will first position this, and then this corner here along x-axis. I move in. There we are. Beautiful. This face needs to go to there. Here in this case, I think I can actually. No, I shall not. It's actually. I could use the push and pull, but I want to show that here I can use actually the scale, because think about it like I'm changing the extrusion. Okay, good. There. I'm not really deforming it anyway. Beautiful. So then you will simply move down along the z-axis till you hit this point. Thank you. This actually goes really fast. Again, if you know how stuff works, how to model very fast and efficiently, you see these steps while they take time. Well, welcome to being a designer. It's a very time-consuming task, which is why we try to find effective methods to work productively. And along the z-axis, we move this back up. Cool. Beautiful. So now you make a copy along the z-axis straight up. There. Cool. Okay. So this one here. Copy straight up. Then you will go straight down to there and just use the move command. Could have used the push pull command. Zack. What's kind of annoying in SketchUp is when you drag over it, it selects all the faces, which we don't really want. We just want certain edges. But I can then with Shift deselect the few edges I don't want. Sorry, faces. And now all this I can along the z-axis move down. And along the z-axis, there, snap. Beautiful. Okay. Let's show everything. Hide this. This guideline we can delete. The rest is all actually really good. Beautiful. So that means, yeah, we make this a group. There. And we can call this East Window. No, because I say East and West, now you see where it is sorted. Let me show you this. We call this Window East and Window West. There you see now how at least window stays together. Otherwise, your outliner, your pieces will be kind of like wherever. Oh, interior wall, there we are. So you, yeah, how do we position you? So make a copy. This corner along the y-axis till this corner. And that should perfectly snap in position. And it did. Beautiful. Okay. That's actually really, really good. So the north-facing window is actually going to be pretty easy because it's this 3 times. Okay, so again, we will do quickly a small copy and paste and rotate it, and there we are. And then we will try to find this inner corner because that will be glued to there. Very good. Then right click and kaboom, explode. It's so funny they call this explode, not ungroup. Oh, look at that. This is actually height-wise not correct. I moved this one up too much. Okay, very good. So let's undo. Maybe we do it from here. So this point, please move to there. Okay, good. So, interesting. Something is off here. Very good. They should be all the same. So now I need to figure out where did I actually make a mistake. Maybe it's in your case too. So let's see. This is actually 11.5. This is 11.5. Probably the mistake is here. 1 foot, 2.5, 1 foot, 1.5. Okay. So all we need to do is this piece we need to move down. Before I do this, I wanted to show you actually also how we can pass construction lines along faces. There are a lot of things that really irritate me about SketchUp. Most severe, literally stagnant modeling tools that didn't really develop over the years, in my opinion. But there are a few things like what I just showed you right now with the type. Genius, works really well. Okay. So we know this has to actually go on. But before I do this, I will hide my last. There we are. Because I know the lower position is correct. All I need to do is this needs to go down by exactly 1 inch there. See, that was an easy fix. Goodie. This group, now I will kaboom and put this into hiding. And this one here, very easy, double click. I will select these two faces and then and bring this over. Okay. And from here, make myself a copy. Oh, actually, no, this doesn't matter because it does not have the same height. I need this one here rotated. So there we are. And zip. Then check out this. So you go. Sometimes the snapping also in SketchUp doesn't really work, not only Blender. I made a copy to snap it to there that at least always works. So then this whole piece, we along the Z axis move down, press the up arrow key, and then this upper face, we just, what are you doing? We push to there. Very good. Okay, so, and this is all done. Very good. Now we can very carefully here select everything. Yeah, that is good. So this whole piece, copy, move over. And this we disconnect. Or not disconnect, deselect and move over. And please, 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 please. Yeah, there. Very good. Perfect fit. And then let's quickly show this. There we are. Double click. Hey, wrong object. So you and you. And here, there's actually an extension from Fredo that does the scale also really well. In this case, I'm simply not using it because what I'm doing here is very easy also without that extension. Sometimes you can get way too much relying on the extensions and do too much with the extensions. So it's not always ideal. Shouldn't have spoken too loud because I messed up. This actually was moved a tick too far. But my point was, you can literally for every step find an extension. But the basic tools sometimes can do everything what you need. Okay, there we kind of are. Now you see here there's a little bit of an overlap. There's a kind of like a gap. How can we fix this? Here it's actually pretty nice. So it's not sitting on there. I want to double check something. Okay. Beautiful. Good. So here I would go ahead and double click. No, I will simply draw here a line down. So I slice the face and then there you see I push and pull this over. Let's do the same here. So this is kind of like this tiny detail work now I do at the end when I have time. Nope. Do this correct. And this is maybe, I don't want to say overkill. Probably this is a detail that might have been easily overlooked. But when we do a rendering and then we really try to highlight our spaces, this gap would have actually shown. And no, look at that. Isn't this actually beautiful? Again, very simplistic geometry, just cubes, but it's the quantity that gives us the feeling of, wow, class actually invested quite some time. Last piece, baseboard. What do we have for the baseboard? Very difficult. I think it's 1/2 inch and what did I decide? 4 inches. Good. There we are. Before we do this, the floor, what you see here is actually in reality the subfloor. So the raw construction floor. Onto that, we still have to put onto the hardwood floor. But the baseboard sits actually on it. Also here, we make this kind of basic, I forgot the number already, 4 inches, there, and 5, and there. Very nice. Okay. Then I go from corner to corner and very quickly trace myself the follow me path. Zack, zack, and one more time. There we are. So now I can go ahead and say, follow me. And in case the dragging doesn't work, then just hide the wall. Sometimes the follow me command can get confused. There we are. Thank you. Then we select this face, go to the move command, copy this face and paste it to there and push and pull this into this missing piece. And then double click, right click, make group. So this group is our baseboard. And then based on if we put carpet down or hardwood floor, we need to also now have with carpet not, but with hardwood floor another quarter round. Yeah, and then height, and height, and height. We can select everything, right click, make group, and then this is actually our window north. Look how beautifully everything is sorted. Cool. Okay. Yeah. And there is actually the piece. So last trick, how do we do sections? Sections are actually super easy. I have the tool up here. Morse is actually hidden section plane. There it is. So customize actually your interface and section panel tool. When you click it, you get these funny looking things here. So I will go on to this. There we are. Can give this a name. Horizontal, whatever, how you want to give this a name. There we are. And you see how the triangle faces down. So that means we see everything in front of it. But after it, it's gone. If we now move this up, there's our model. So you see it's kind of like a piece that cuts through the cookie dough. Okay, let's add one more section. There we are. And maybe here we go this way. Section 2. Now 2. I just move a little bit more in there. Let's turn on also the ceiling. There, beautiful. Cool, no? Yeah. Then this is actually here for turning this this function on off. Also turning off the fill, I think. Is that correct? Oh, that's just a display. Okay, good. In previous years, SketchUp was able to do a section cut, but then it was open, like you could look into it. Oh, that's just only the on-off to show the pieces or not. Okay, very good. Yeah, and section cuts can be very useful when you need to look into a space, for example, like this, and you don't want to have to hide all the objects which are in front of you. We can now continue modeling in there. So let's say here is our amazing cube, and there it cuts it. Pretty cool, no? Yeah, the section tool here is actually really useful. Okay, and that's it, how to model the space in SketchUp.